So I made a MAGA nut cry at a party, like full on baby cry, full grown woman, ran into the bedroom, made a scene. So how did this start off? So before the party, I always ask my friend, she's a Democrat like me, are there going to be any MAGA people there? She knows me. She knows that my activism, as small as it may be, comes first. And so I will not be disrespectful, but if somebody presents an opportunity or says something that's misinformed, I will step up and correct them in a respectful way. And if that's going to be a problem, she doesn't have to invite me. I'm completely fine with that. So I don't care what anybody says. Everything is political, no matter what conversation you're having, it can be turned very quickly into a political conversation. But I'm not afraid to get in these conversations. I've trained myself, so I'm ready to have them and I'm prepared and I will do a great job having them. And although my goal is not to make people cry or to watch them melt down, if that is a added bonus of feeding them information, then, I'm going to take it. So anyway, we're going to call her Florida, right? Because that's where she lives. So Florida was going on about how they used to live in Nevada, but they moved because of all the Californians moving in with their ideologies and their blah, blah, right? Just goes down this path. Don't say a word. Keep my mouth shut. And then she goes down this path. People should be able to believe what they want to believe. And, who is she to tell people any different? And she wished people would give her the same respect. But still, keep my mouth shut. But I'm never going to walk away from an opportunity. So I wasn't waiting for it. If it presented itself, I was going to jump in. So then she said people in her life have written her off or really put boundaries around the relationship. And I'm paraphrasing. It was so clear to see where she was going. So I asked her, are you just venting or do you really want to understand why people cut out Trump supporters? And she's like, yeah, absolutely. I want insight. So I explained to her that people who are actively listening to Trump and actively tapped into the Republican news. They know what's happening based on what Republicans are saying. They're also paying attention to all information, all news. And it's very, very, very disturbing. Some people believe that they're seeing what we're seeing and that they're okay with it. It makes us very angry and upset. And so we just walk away. Now, there's another group, that's the group I'm in, where I don't think these people are seen. I think that they are so in their bubble, that they are so completely isolated to the day-to-day horrors of this administration and that they're not paying attention. And so what we want to do, what we're trying to do, I think subconsciously, is try to understand if these people did see these horrific scenes of children being ripped away from their mother's arms as they go into an immigration court. They had an appointment, they're doing everything legally. They go in there and then they come out without their children, or their children come out without their parents. It's horrific what's happening. They're not grabbing criminals. They're grabbing regular, hardworking people. And people like me and my group, we want to be able to show just the information to these Trump supporters. And I want to understand what they think of it. I want to know what they think of it. Would they then be, yes, let's do this 100%. And so I want them to be open. And they absolutely 100% refuse to hear it. And if you're not willing to do that, then there's something else going on here. You're living in a fantasy world. And I believe that subconsciously they know that if they were to actually, truly see it, that their minds would explode. I think that they would fall apart, which is what happened here. So I explained that. And of course, she pushed back. And it went back and forth respectfully. I actually thought we were having a very good conversation. I thought she was asking good questions. I was very pleased to answer them. We started talking about presidents, and she said, Reagan was her favorite president. And I'm like, well, why? Well, it was my dad's favorite president. Okay, but do you personally know any policies that help the American people? She asked me, what are you talking about when you say that? So I started to go into when Obama became president, he put guidelines on banks. If you bounced a check, that one check or that one swipe could create a series of hundreds of dollars of fees to the bank. And so that's just criminal. That cost the bank millions of dollars in additional fees, but it benefited the American people. So what my point was, what you see time and time again for the last 100 years is legislation for the American people to put more money in our pockets, to protect us. So anyway, I was using the check bouncing scenario because I thought it was relatable. And her comeback was so brilliantly MAGA. She said, well, they deserve it. They deserve it because I've never bounced a check. And if you bounce a check, you deserve to have all those fees. This is exactly why your friends don't want to be friends with you anymore. I told her the problem with MAGA is that they cannot see outside of their own self, their own experiences. The reality is that you're okay with giving billionaires and almost trillionaires all the breaks in the world, but fuck the poor people. That is the difference between Republicans and Democrats. You made my point beautifully. It was unbelievable. Stormed off, went into the room, shut the door. Everybody was like, oh my God, what happened now? Anyway, I thought it ended on a good note. She came out, she apologized. She said, you're right. That was a really shitty thing to say. And I think that that is a good law. And I said, wow, it is so rare for people to apologize. Like, that takes a lot for people to admit when they're wrong. And I am so impressed with you for doing that. I was hugging her. She was hugging me. She was still crying, but she was crying because because she was shaken up, because she was confronted with a reality that she does not know, because these people live in a bubble and they need to be uncomfortable. And yes, what I said was not nice, and I didn't mean it to be hurtful. I meant it to be like, this is the reason, right? You wanted to know the reason. This is it. Full stop. It's that lack of giving a shit about anybody but yourself. All of us, you, me, everybody, we need to tell them. We need to make them uncomfortable. And we have to start with our neighbors, our family members, mom and dad, sister, brother, cousin, whether it's anonymously, whether it's start a podcast, record videos like I am, send them information, snail mail it, carrier pigeon it, do whatever it is that you need to do to get them the information, not once, not twice, but consistently. You need to be okay being uncomfortable. You need to be okay damaging relationships, because none of that shit's going to matter if we do not collectively come together as a country to fight this fascist regime. If we do not get Republicans, the ones that can be pulled away, on board to see what's happening, it won't matter. So that's all I got to say about that. I made a MAGA cry. It was glorious. If you made a MAGA cry, tell the story in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Please hit subscribe. Please like these videos. Please share with your MAGA family and friends, because they'll be so angry. And again, making them upset, making them uncomfortable should be our main goal, because until people are uncomfortable, they are unmovable. All right. See you later. Bye.